I'm going to move on. Next up happens to be page 14 of the calendar. T. Phillips versus Jennifer Abrams. Let's go ahead and set forth our appearances for the record.
Adam Pernsteiner on behalf of defendants Dave Schoen and Mark DiCiero, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Lisa Zastrow for Jennifer Abrams and her firm.
All right, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Initial T. Period Matthew Phillips. Presented. Hello.
Is that you, Mr. Phillips?
Yes, Judge, it is.
Okay, we couldn't hear you, sir. But you can go ahead and set forth your appearance again for the record.
The name is Initial T. Period Matthew Phillips, and I am appearing today in propria persona.
Okay, all right, sir. Good morning to you. And let's continue on with the appearances. All right, and I think that covers all appearances as far as parties are concerned. And it's my understanding this is Mr. Phillips' motion to strike non-conforming brief. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do we want to have this matter reported?
It's not necessary from my perspective.
I understand. I didn't think so, but I have to ask that, sir. Anyway, sir, you have the floor.
Well, thank you very much, Your Honor. Basically, why we're here today, back on March 17th, Falcone, who is the owner of this R. Nevada Judges, filed a media request. And let me say right at the outset that there is no issue about whether or not the media can, whether R. Nevada Judges can do the broadcasting. The judge in this case ruled that media coverage is permitted, and so that's a non-issue for the purposes of this hearing. What is an issue is that my office filed a motion for reconsideration of that media request. And then in response to the plaintiff's motion for reconsideration, Falcone, on behalf of our Nevada Judges, filed an opposition to that motion for reconsideration. And so the issue here is whether a non-party can file an opposition, rather, to a motion for reconsideration. And it's the plaintiff's position that that's not something done simply because Rule 11 forbids it. The issue here, again, is whether non-parties can file oppositions. Now, under Rule 11, and this is very specific, every pleading must be signed.
And sir, I don't want to cut you off, but I get it. I understand.
Okay.
I just want to make it real simple for you. I get it. I mean, non-parties to cases shouldn't be filing pleadings. And I realize this is a very unique matter in this regard. As far as I'm concerned, the media, all they have to do is show up and set forth their position. It is what it is. But you're right. Unless you're a party to a case, you shouldn't be filing pleadings. I get it.
And so the only remedy we're asking is that those briefs be stricken. Again, the judge has already ruled on the media being able to cover it, but I think that those oppositions should be stricken. In fact, with all due respect to the court, this is not something where the court can exercise discretion. The Rule 11 says that the court must strike the brief, and so we're asking the court to strike it.
I understand. I get that. Okay. Anything else, sir? Okay.
Well, I think I would add also, just very briefly from a public policy standpoint, I think that a media entity is supposed to be neutral. They're basically supposed to be a passive conduit for the broadcasting of proceedings. But you can see this person here has a real interest in wanting to do this, and I think that's what's inappropriate, is the fact that he's trying to be adversarial by opposing, and I don't think that he has a right to do that. So again, if the court wants to strike the brief, we're hoping the court will do that.
All right, right. And for the record, sir, I get it. And this is multi-layered without going into detail of all my thoughts because it's really unnecessary. At the end of the day, when you file motions and or oppositions in cases, that's typically reserved for the parties to the litigation. In fact, that's what's required from an appellate perspective, they have procedures in place as it relates to amicus briefs being filed by parties that are not, I should say individuals that aren't parties to cases, but it might be an issue of public interest, and they file and seek requests to do that before the Supreme Court and our appellate court. And we don't have that for district court. You know, there's no amicus provision. And I've had entities come in, various associations, and I know some other judges will listen to it, but I ask them because at the end of the day, I try to be tethered to what the rules require because that gives consistency. And there's no mechanism in place when it comes to the trial courts. This is what we're going to do, and I understand the position of the media entity as far as access and those types of things. All we have simply pending right now would be a motion for reconsideration. What I'm going to do is this, and as far as the motion as far as the motion to strike non-conforming brief, I'm going to follow the mandate of the rules. I'm going to grant that relief. Notwithstanding that, and I do understand what the public policy is as far as state of Nevada is concerned as it relates, and I should say the trial courts and our Nevada Supreme Court as it relates to media access. And anyway, it's a real simple decision. I'm going to have Mr. Phillips prepare a real simple order on that issue because you do have to be a party without even, that's so fundamental, and you have to have standing. You do. And so that's going to be my decision. And we'll deal with the motion for reconsideration, assuming one's filed. Because I'm looking here, let me see here. We have a net. What's this set for the 25th? Plaintiff's notice of motion to strike immaterial and scandalous matter. I guess that's not really relating to this issue today. Is that correct, Mr. Phillips?
Yes, I believe that's a motion to strike another matter.
Okay, all right. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Because I don't even see the motion for reconsideration set, is it?
Actually, the motion for reconsideration was heard on April 29th.
All right.
And
I understand. I got it. Just want to make sure I wasn't missing anything. But I'm going to make it real simple. We'll strike the pleadings. But that
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. All right. I don't want to make it more complex than it has to be. Anyway, everyone enjoy your day. Prepare an order, sir. Circulate it. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.